Alright, so we got a GE French door style. The issue with this unit, it had a few issues actually. It had a clog drain and the unit was not cooling properly. So we're going to be removing the drawer that's for the deli drawer at the bottom, and you do have a wire connector on the left, and you also have two screws, 1/4-inch screws. Once that is free, then you can grab the other piece and just remove it. Alright, so you do have that cap, and by the way, that plug right there is your fan evaporator, and you do have 1/4-inch screws. Remove all of those, and depending on how frozen your unit is, you might have to use a steamer. I don't recommend heat guns or hair dryers, but if you don't have a steamer, you can just lightly go over it so you're able to remove that cover. Now, go ahead and remove the two left tracks. I did not show it fully, but loosen the two 1/4-inch screws, slide them back so you're able to remove the cover for the evaporator. And so now we're using our steamer and we're breaking up some of the ice. So when you have a clog drain on a refrigerator, it acts pretty much like a defrost issue. So you have to be very careful not to just start throwing parts at it. You want to see what's going on first and then go from there. So we're going to be getting this cover off shortly, and you will see how clogged the drain is. Now, the clog drain on a unit, when the fridge goes into defrost, the heater comes on and you have a layer of water or ice that turns into water and then turn into steam. So that steam gets sucked up into the fan and also into the venting, so eventually stopping the unit from cooling. So we're getting ready to take this piece out. As you can see, it comes out with the left track still intact, but to put it back on, it's a lot easier. So make sure you loosen both of them. Usually I do. I was in a rush. Alright, so I'm actually explaining right now to the customer the process of evaporator and clog drain and all that good stuff, and how bad it is when the drain gets clogged, how it basically recirculates the steam because it turns into steam after the heater comes on, and it's a vicious cycle because the system is recirculating its own water that should be eliminated. So shortly we're going to be basically getting the steamer. And by the way, guys, if you do have a clog drain, you really need a steamer to blow that thing out. You sometimes can use a turkey baster, but it does not do justice. You might have to go to the back of the unit and disconnect the drain tube. It's a clear tube, and remove it and get super hot water and pour down the drain tube from inside the refrigerator, and hopefully it makes it all the way through. So you got to keep at it. Now you can use a turkey baster and just keep sucking it out and squeezing it. It will work, but make sure you get to the bottom of it to where you pour some water in the drain area. It should make its way down to the drain tube. Now, once you've gotten that nice and clear, make sure you put the drain tube back on. So now we're going to be removing the fan. Actually, I was explaining to the customer the process why the fan gets damaged, and because of the steam, what it does, it actually causes the fan to basically get corroded. And when that happens, the fan basically stops working. So we're going to blow the drain out first before we get to the fan. And basically, if you look at the steam, that's pretty much what goes on behind their unit. When it is covered over, you just can't see it. The heater gets super hot, turns that water into steam, and the steam just rises up. So take a closer look. You can see it's basically clogged. And the drain hole should always be, well, empty. Or the drain pan, I should say. So now we're basically getting the ice nice and melty, or melted. Then we're going to take the steamer and blast it out. As you can see, the steamer does a really good job. No hair dryer can do what this does. And you're not going to melt your liner up. So if you do use a heat gun or a hair dryer, just be super careful. Okay, so yes, I was actually just melting the ice to show the drain that it is still clogged. So now we're actually going to blast it out. So when that water turns into steam, it goes right into the fan, totally destroying it. But we can save it. All right, take a look at this. Excellent. You can actually see where the water is gone. That's how it needs to be. All right, now we're going to work on the fan. So this fan was pretty much stuck. And what we're going to do, we're going to save this fan. And you can do the same thing as well. So make sure you have your unit unplugged while you're doing this. You don't want to work on the unit while it's running. Always unplug it. But for the fan, once you remove the fan from the housing, and be careful you don't break the keeper or the wire holder. It slides out. And once we get the fan in our hand, I want to show you what I'm going to do. And you can actually see where the fan is stuck, meaning it will not rotate. Trying to get this out of the holder, just so you have a better there you go. Just remember, when you install the fan, the label faces up, just in case. Now we plug the fan back in, and we're going to power the fridge back on so that we're able to bring this thing back to life. Now guys, if you're doing this to your fridge, you're not just saving the cost off the fan, but you're saving a service call and you're saving labor. So a cup of coffee my way is cheap cost to pay. Would be greatly appreciated as well. All right, so what we're doing here now, the fan is energized, and we're actually just squirting WD-40 into the unit, and you'll see little openings anywhere you can see it. Put a towel down so you don't make too much of a mess, and just rotate it with your finger. Just move it back and forth, and make sure your hand is not in the pathway, because the fan will eventually just kick on, and you will see it. Eventually it will just start spinning on its own. The idea behind this is corrosion. Over time, I've saved so many of these fans, by the way, and I figure I save it, show it, help you guys save some money. See that? The fan is starting to turn. They just get corroded, and the WD-40 gets in there and loosens it up, and they start to work. Look at that. So you might hear a little bit of noise. It will go away. Just keep it running. Keep the fridge going, and even while you put it in, leave the fridge running, insert it, and after it's running like that, you want to get some more WD-40 as well and spray it just to make sure you get it well coated. Normally these fans, they go out around 6 or 7 years, so they do last a while, but you can extend them. And when this job was done, I have spoken to the customer, texted her, and all is well still. All right, we're going to insert this one in. Make sure you keep your wires towards the end. Pay attention to how you remove it so it goes back in the same way. And be generous with the WD-40. And also, since WD-40 removes moisture, this is going to extend the life of the fan as well. Make sure you secure your wires. There is a little opening for the wire so that when you put the cover on, it does not pinch the wires.
Well, we got the fan going. Yeah, she's running. I brought a new fan just in case.
And go ahead and do your cleaning up, whatever you need to do. In this case, you will see me wipe the bottom of the fridge out. And then we're going to put the cover back on, button up, and we're pretty much done here, guys. So enjoy the rest of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, guys, I do have videos over Patreon, so you can check those out as well. They're a little more in-depth. All right, thanks for watching. sometimes, you know, having a good neighbor is very, you know, it's not like it. Like my other neighbor, I look out for him, he looks out for me. I mean, I'm big on camera. I have my work van, my truck, I can actually look up. But, you know, those are all innocent stuff, but it's nice when your neighbors actually look out for you as well. Nice. Fan, it sounds good actually. Sounds strong.